guys, so I'm here doing a highly requested video. I had a lot of girls that wanted to know about my story about being bisexual, so I'm just here to help you, you know, whatever questions you guys have and answer that for you. So yeah, and I am bisexual, so if you guys don't know, now you know. And yeah, so if you want to hear my story, then yeah, let's get started. So what does it mean to be bisexual? It means that you are attracted to both sexes. So for myself, I know I am bisexual because I am attracted physically, well, you know, I'm attracted sexually to girls and to boys. So that's how I know I am bisexual. Okay, so I knew I was bisexual, or at least sexually attracted to girls. And I know a lot of you probably won't understand, but I just knew how I was back then. And this was when I was like 5 or 6. And this is gonna sound really wrong, but I want to be like very honest with you guys. And I remember playing in my van, or not my van, my parents' van, and I was by myself. I don't know why I was that young. I'm pretty sure I was 5 or 6, or 6 or 7. I don't know, somewhere around that age. And I was in our van, and maybe we were going somewhere, or I don't really remember. I just know I was alone in there. And I remember finding a deck of cards, and the deck of cards were naked women. And I remember looking through them, and I didn't get like aroused or anything, but I thought they were really pretty. And I don't know, like it was just something just clicked. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stop staring at them. And that was like my first taste of it. As I went on through like elementary school, it didn't really cross my mind again, actually, because I don't know why, I just never did. So, you know, elementary didn't pass my mind, and then middle school is where I got my second taste of this. And I actually, this is really bad too, but I actually had my first experience sexually with a girl in middle school. And I'm not gonna name names or anything, but this is really bad. But it was with 2 girls at the same time. And I think we were all just curious about our sexuality. And we just really, I guess we wanted to explore that. So we did. And I want to say I was at least, I don't know, like 13, 14. And yeah, so that went down. And after that night, I definitely knew I was bisexual. I knew that I liked girls, and I already knew I liked boys because in elementary school I had a crush on a guy or a boy, and so I knew I liked boys and girls. But it was really my middle school. What happened in middle school is when it really clicked for me, and I was like, oh, okay, I like boys and girls. And at that time I didn't know well, I knew it was okay because thank God, well, not thank God, but my older sister is lesbian, so she kind of not paved the way, but I kind of looked to her for guidance. And I was like, okay, well, she likes girls and that's okay. So I didn't really think anything bad of it. So that was middle school time. And at that time, I was actually sexually active more and first with girls than I ever was with boys. You know, I guess that's just how I knew. So then high school came around, and I noticed I started having more crushes on girls than I did boys. And I dated a couple boys, but even when I was with the boys, I was still staring at some girls. And there was like maybe, I want to say a couple of girls that I had really, really mad crushes on. And so like, I don't know, I just knew I liked girls. And I liked boys, but I don't know, I guess I can say the majority of my youth I just liked girls. In high school, like I said, I did date some guys, and then junior year and senior year I had a girlfriend. We were together for 2 years, and that was the longest relationship I've ever had back then. Yeah, that's how I knew I was bisexual, you know, as sexually attracted to both genders. I came out to my mom when I was in high school. I was dating this girl, well, that's my girlfriend, and like I said, I'm not gonna name any names, but yeah. Anyway, so I was dating this girl, and I think my mom had a feeling already, but she didn't really say anything or ask me, because I would just spend all of my time with this girl. I was always at her house. I was always spending the weekend over there, or she'd come pick me up, because I did have a car, but sometimes she'd come pick me up, and you know, I'd spend the weekend with her. A lot of my high school time was spent with her. I kind of ditched classes to be with her because she graduated first, but my mom don't need to know that. But yeah, so I was just spending a lot of time with her, and I don't even remember how I came out to my mom. I just know I was in my junior year of high school, and I think I just straight out told her that, look, I'm bi, I like boys and I like girls. And like I said, it was easier for me because my sister is lesbian, so my mom went through this already, but only, you know, I was just trying to explain that, hey, I like both though. I don't like just women. I like, you know, girls and guys. So on my mom, being my mom, I love her to death. She's very, very accepting. She was telling me, okay, you know, I just want you to be happy, and that's all that matters. But my dad was a different story. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You're closer to one parent than the other. And when it came to my dad, like, me and my mom had an agreement. We're like, let's just not tell your dad. And I don't know if she thought it was a phase or not, because I knew personally it wasn't a phase, because obviously I knew since I was 5 or 6 or whatever. But, you know, I don't know if she thought it was a phase or if she thought I was going to get over it, but, you know, but she knew how my dad was too. So she just wanted to hold off on telling my dad. So anyway, so my mom knew. She was very accepting. She was very supportive. She covered my back a few times, because I remember I was late like once or twice for my curfew because I was with my girlfriend, and I think my mom would tell my dad, oh, she's with friends, you know, she's a little late, but she'll come home. So I don't think my dad thought anything of it, especially too because we never really had a bond at all, because he was always working and my mom stayed home. Well, you know, at that time she was home. So yeah, I don't think he really knew anything. He didn't really suspect anything. And then until one day, I remember my girlfriend parked in front of my house, and she dropped me off, and we kissed, because obviously, you know, you kiss your significant other goodbye. So, you know, we kissed, and I went inside, and I went through my side, because my front door is like right here, and then you go around the house, and then there's a side door to the kitchen. So I went to the side door, because that's how I usually snuck in the house, was I went around to the side. So I went to the side of the door. I came in, and my dad was right there, and he saw everything, and he knew that was my girlfriend back then was called a stud. I don't know if you guys still call well, she was lesbian. My girlfriend was full lesbian, and she was stud, so you know, she dressed like a boy. But anyway, so but my dad knew that was a girl because he met her once. And yeah, so he knew who that was, and he saw us kiss, and I can remember that day like if it was yesterday. He screamed in my face, and he told me to get out, and he said, I disown you, and I never want to see you again, and you're not my child. And like, he said, you know, a lot of like hurtful stuff that obviously, you know, is still with me to this day. But yeah, so he pretty much disowned me, you know, since that moment. And he stormed out of the house, and I don't even think he came back that night, or if he came back the next night. But I remember like just being upset and crying because, you know, I'm still in high school. I didn't want to get kicked out of the house. And then like I went back to thinking like, okay, is this wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Like, you know, I thought as a parent you'd want your kid to be happy no matter what. And yeah, that really hurt. So anyway, so yeah, he didn't come. I don't know, I don't even remember what happened. I think I blocked the rest out of my mind. And then so my mom tried, I think she tried to like just talk to me about it and, you know, just be like, you know, it's okay, I guess. But I didn't stop seeing her. I did not stop seeing her because of that, because, you know, even though my dad was mad and disowned me, I was like, if he really loves me, he'll get over it. Because ultimately, I think as a parent, you would want your kid to be happy no matter what. So I was like, no, you know, why should I ruin my happiness and my love for someone because he, you know, all of a sudden wants to disown me because it's not, you know, right in his head, or, you know, it's not okay in his head. So that's how my dad found out. I think it's still awkward to this day, but it's not awkward because, as you guys know, I'm with a guy now, and you know, not just any guy, but, you know, I'm with Rob now, and we've been together for 7.5 years, and he was pretty much like a couple of guys after my girlfriend. And I think my dad loves the fact that I'm with a guy, and, you know, he kind of, I think he pushed me being bisexual out of his head, and we never talked about it since. We don't even talk about that day. I kind of act like that day never happened. But in my mind and in my heart, obviously I am and always will be bisexual. It doesn't matter if I'm with Rob for the rest of my life, and it doesn't matter if we break up tomorrow, which obviously I hope we don't. But, you know, I will always and forever be bisexual. And, you know, that's my story of that. And, you know, some of the questions I was getting was, you know, how did you come out to your parents? So that's how I came out to my parents, not by choice, by one of them, but that's how I came out. Another thing was getting, when you come out to people, or when you're starting to be like, hey, I think I'm bisexual, or, you know, that's how I can relate, because obviously I'm not lesbian or gay, but, you know, if, you know, for me being bisexual, when you come out to people saying you're bisexual, be prepared to lose people. And I don't like to be like negative Nancy or anything, but you will lose people. I remember in high school when I came out to what I thought was my closest friends, you know, saying that, hey, you know, I'm bi, I like girls. I actually lost one of my best friends, and we were really, really, really close. And she, poof, gone, acted like our friendship never happened. Oh, I'm not friends with her because, you know, she's gay, she's bi, whatever the, you know, the hell they were saying. And, you know, I also lost my middle school best friend, and I don't know, like, if that me being bi had to do with it, but I don't know, I guess apparently she was too good for me. So I lost a couple friends. In high school, I was bullied, and it's funny now because I see on Facebook some of the girls that made fun of me for being bi, or like would stare at me or something, and it's funny how they're gay now, or they're bisexual now, and I'm like, where the hell were you guys at when I came out? And, you know, you guys were making fun of me. So, but yeah, so be prepared to lose some friends. Just plan for the best, but prepare for the worst, I guess. And yeah, so that's when it, you know, you're gonna lose friends, you're gonna know who really has your back at this time when you do come out. It's more accepted now, which is, you know, I'm grateful for. Back then, even though it wasn't even that long ago, like what, 2006, 2005, I remember going out like just to Walmart or to Albertsons with my girlfriend, and we'd hold hands and people would be staring, and it bothered me, but I was more pissed about it than anything, because I'm like, why the hell are you guys staring at us? Like, so what? We're holding hands. Who gives a fuck? You know? It is more like that bothering me, but it never made me ashamed or anything. Never be ashamed of being bisexual. You know, how can I say this? I don't consider myself to be a full-fledged Christian. but I do go to church, and I was baptized. I was baptized under Catholic religion, but yeah, I do go to a Christian church. I really like my church because they don't really talk about, you know, gay or lesbians or anything like that. They're very open, but I don't think because you come from a Christian background and you're bisexual that, you know, nothing's wrong with you. You could still be Christian and still be gay. Like, I know that this is a whole nother topic, but it was one of the questions that one of my subscribers had, and you know, this is just my opinion and I stick to it every time. God would not create a child he would not love. So why would he create gays and lesbians and bisexuals and transgenders and, you know, everything else that falls under the pretty rainbow, and say, I'm going to create you this way, but then I'm going to, you know, you're sitting for it and you're going to go to hell. I don't believe that at all. So that's my opinion. You have your opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think God created kids' children just for him to hate them. So you still want to, you know, pursue going to church, which I suggest highly, and yet you still want, you know, obviously to be bisexual because that is who you are. Find a church that is open, and, you know, there's a lot of churches out there that are open and that don't judge you as soon as you come in the door. And, you know, so I would say keep your faith and still be who you are. So a lot of questions I also get is, what does my boyfriend feel about me being bisexual? So I thought he'd come answer that question himself instead of me saying what he feels. So how do you feel about me being bisexual? We're being together for, what, 7.5 years. And he knew I was bisexual before we got together because we were friends first and then we dated, but he didn't know because that was another question, if he knew before or after we were together, and he knew before we were together. So, because he knew I had a girlfriend in the past and all that.
To me, it's never been a problem. I don't know, yeah, it's never been a problem. It's, I never thought anything really of it.
And another thing that I mentioned before you got in was that I told him, when you're bisexual, be prepared to hear like, oh, because you're bi, you like threesomes. That is not the case. I mean, granted, you know, like I told you, the viewers, I had a threesome before. That does not mean I want a threesome now, nor do I, do I want one. So not every girl wants a threesome just because she's bi. And I'm glad he's not one of the guys that are like, oh, my girlfriend's bisexual, you know, that means we're gonna have a threesome because she likes girls and I like girls. No, that ain't gonna fucking happen.
It's more, our relationship's more of like, I'm not gonna share you.
Yeah, exactly. We don't share.
That's what it comes down to. It's like, I don't want to share, because then, I don't know what it is, like we have that thing where it's just gonna be weird if we see the other person with somebody else.
Exactly.
Then one of us is probably just gonna get jealous or something.
Exactly. So
that's gonna be all bad.
Yeah, so just because you're bi, you know, does not mean you like threesomes. So, but yeah, so that was his perspective on it. So thank you for helping me out with that.
No problem.
Okay. So yeah, that's his opinion. You know, I know ultimately he just wants me to be happy too. So, but he doesn't, you know, judge me for it, or he doesn't go blurting telling everybody out, hey, my girlfriend's bisexual and she's bisexual. So yeah, it's not like that with us. But yeah, so I would say if you're bisexual and you are ready to come out to people, your parents, whoever, do it with caution. Know that you may lose a friend because it's happened. And, you know, but put the faith in yourself to know that, you know, when you're ready to come out, you will. And do not let anyone like force you to come out when you're not ready. Even if it is your girlfriend, or, you know, if you're gay and it's your boyfriend, or you're bi and it's your girlfriend, or, you know, don't let anyone force you to come out. You will come out when you are ready. And it will be much better that way. But if you have parents that are like mine, where one is accepting and one is not, then just be prepared for that. You know, sadly, you know, in this day and age, you can't talk to both parents at the same time because one is going to react a certain way. So, you know, that's why I went to my mom first, because I knew she was very accepting of it. So, you know, just, you know, think about it, know who you want to come out to and how you want to come out to, and, you know, just, you know, don't be surprised if you lose people in the end. But, you know, that's the beauty of this too, because when you do lose people, you'll find out who your true friends are and who will be there for you when you need them. And, you know, that's a good thing. So yeah, that's how I came out to my parents, and, you know, I don't regret anything. I'm glad my parents know, even though one suppresses it, but I'm glad they know. And because I am who I am, and I am bisexual, and I like girls, and I like boys, and that's just how I am. And you have to accept yourself for it. Do not ever think that you are wrong or something is wrong with you, because it is not. You are perfectly fine. So, you know, just learn and, you know, love yourself, and, you know, and you will be happy, because once you're free and, you know, you're free and whatever, you'll be happy. You'll be a lot happier for doing that. And yeah, so I hope this helped you guys. If you have any more questions on the topic, literally I am an open book. I will answer anything. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about like anything else about being bisexual, or any advice that you guys may need, then please leave a comment below, or find me on Instagram and send me a message there, and I promise I will get back to you. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. So yeah, stay confident and stay beautiful. Love you guys.